All right, guys, I had to do some digging for this one because the original post was deleted, but I found it quite amusing. Revenge on my mother in law, who was horrible to me for years and then decided she would wear the exact same dress as me to my wedding. I was looking at my wedding photos today and I thought this community would appreciate my success. It's a bit long and with all the background, so get a cuppa and settle in. My mother in law hated me from the moment we met. Think evangelical Catholic meets goth atheist. I moved in with her son and we had a baby without being married, and she truly believed I was the devil incarnate sent to draw her baby boy into the depths of hell. There followed years of petty microaggressions, a constant barrage of manipulation and guilt tripping, and doing things like offering to watch the kids, then pulling out at half an hour before, or buying the kids a puppy when we expressly said no, then blaming us when she had to take the poor thing back. That's just terrible. She pushed over my motorbike, turned up at my work, tried to rearrange the furniture in my house, and constantly talked about God and Jesus in front of the kids and told them they were going to hell because they weren't baptized. God, Jesus. I don't even know why they're not no contact by now. I went VLC and things were quiet for a while. I never cared about getting married. I felt weddings were a waste of money. I'd rather have a boat or a new motorbike. Sounds kind of cool, but it was important to hubby, so I agreed, on the condition that it was not a church wedding. Apart from the general problematic nature of the church, I've experienced religious trauma growing up and wasn't prepared to compromise. Good for you. Hubby agreed and we started planning. 2 days after we announced our engagement, to much wailing and general dismay, a priest arrived at our doorstep. He had been sent by mother-in-law to schedule a date for our wedding and to book us for premarital counseling. I was very nice to him. After all, my issue was with the institution and not this poor guy. And I thanked him for coming, and I told him we wouldn't be acquiring any Catholic services for the wedding. He looked sad and expressed he was a bit nervous to let my mother-in-law know. I offered him coffee and sympathy, and that was the start of an unlikely friendship. See, this girl sounds like super chill, actually. I was fairly annoyed by this stunt. I talked to my hubby, who at the time was so far in the fog that he couldn't see a hand in front of his face. He didn't see the big deal, and he asked me to just let it go. I thought about it for a day, then told him no. We had to address this immediately or it will escalate. I understood that he loved his mom and sisters, but their obvious contempt for me was a problem. Yes, it is. I don't like ultimatums, but by this point, I'd been putting up with it for 6 years. I laid it out. We address it now or no wedding. Good for you. It went about as well as you'd expect. We visited, and hubby tried to talk to her about how inappropriate her actions were. She screamed at him and cried, and then the sisters started in on us both. Standing there, watching my hubby's heart break, my filter broke. Oh. I told them to stop very loudly. Then I told them they were behaving like toddlers, that I was embarrassed by their antics and considered this their first and only warning. If they tried anything like that again or treated us with anything other than kindness and respect, not only would I cancel the wedding, I would tell their priest and all their friends about their disgusting behavior. If they wanted to be a part of the planning, I would welcome their participation, but hubby and I have the final say. My mother-in-law tried to speak, but I shushed her like Dr. Evil shushing Scott and then we left. Now to part 2.